Dragon Sholmes is likely your second favorite character in these games, maybe tied. He's probably top 5 for me. I love a lot of the characters in this game.
Is that a Robin Williams reference?
What?
William Robbins?
I never noticed that until now. That I can't think of anything else it would be.
It's time, Mr. Naruto. We must hurry back to the prison.
Yes, I know. Let's tell the care. Oh.
What's the matter?
Looks like something's going on over there in front of the Gardep's house.
Huh?
I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers. This is you.
Uh, uh, what? Nini, Nini Panini, Nimini Pinini, Nimini. Who are you calling old man? You rum-looking Nimini Pinini?
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy.
Who's this Horatio fella? Hey, what are you talking on about? What are you on about? Excuse me. Hey, what the? Who are you now? I'm sorry. It just looked as though there was maybe some problem here. My associate here, Mr. Rinosuke Naruto, is a lawyer, you see. Hey, a lawyer? What?
If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I've studied English law.
Damn. Fine, I'll be on my way for today, but you mark my words. This ain't over yet!
Get thee to a nunnery!
Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you? What are they even doing?
What's a great voice for who, Dragon? Well, I shouldn't say. You don't even know the character names I haven't even revealed.
Yeah, I just know one guy's named Horatio.
Oh, both? Nice, Dragon. Suzato?
Oh, I wasn't. I got real quiet in the game, and I wasn't even sure if you could even hear me.
Oh.
I do hope you're not injured.
Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentle. Thank you.
Is that a good voice for that guy? I'm not even.
That was fine. That was good.
Okay.
Dragon said they were both good voices for both those characters.
Okay.
What was that all about? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy.
Is that Shakespeare?
Yeah, that's Shakespeare. I'm not Horatio either.
Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here in the Garadep residence?
Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so right. Yes, I do dwell in this humble abode.
Is he speaking in iambic pentameter?
Is he?
I don't know. I don't know enough about iams. If if Nero was near, you could ask them.
He might. No,
obviously
no, I don't think it is.
Horatio would have to be in iambic pentameter because that's literally Shakespeare.
Actually, it might be. Maybe. I don't know. I need more lines to count.
I'm really impressed that you know iams.
Oh, I'm a English like a literature nerd, or at least I was. Especially like Shakespeare. I love Childlike because it was on iambic pentameter.
Oh man, I never finished it.
This must be the man. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor? Ah, yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more worthy a polemist in my battle of words ne'er could there be. Sorry, battle did he say? Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Natsume and I sparred long into the night. I see.
I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman were acquaintances, at least.
So fair maiden, so good gentleman, I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well.
At the very least, it doesn't rhyme, but it could still be trying to be an I am pentameter.
You can do I am a pentameter without rhyming.
Yeah. I don't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room. It's easy for me to find the I ams when it's rhyming.
Yeah. It seems he's unaware of what's happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. With Seki-san and that man as lodgers, the Garadeb house is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyway, I'll go and find a carriage.
Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return.
Let's hope we can get to the prison before our visiting hours are over.
What? Oh, there he is.
Dogs who eat IAMs or poets confirmed, said Dragon. Oh, it's you. You're here. You came. Locum student Mr. Norohodo, Esquire. I can't believe you came back. I'm so touched.
He's the most anime I think this game's ever going to be. We're sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume.
Oh, no. Think nothing of it. Relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Noble, nurturing, never-failing Nipponese. Oh, well, let's not get carried away. This is you.
I'm gonna give an assumption of who could it be. Oh, I quite agree. There is nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand, it is through fine friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact. Such is my belief, at least.
Sholmes suddenly got very dark.
Don't mind me.
Yes, ugh, it's you. The miserable, rotten spy, Herr Lack Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here?
I've no intention of doing anything per se, save observing, of course. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how our divested friend is faring.
People don't like Saseki, Dragon? I think he's fine. Gloomful room.
At least your accommodations here offer a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is a superior option. Except it's winter, and you probably can't close these windows, so it's probably freezing. Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight, and it cost me not a penny.
Ugh, you! How dare you, Herr Lack Sholmes! Ugh. I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings, no doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life is bedamned.
What should you be thinking, Mr. Naruhodo?
He mentioned that once, didn't he? Before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean.
And there's much truth in Mr. Mustache's words.
What?
Curse is a wholly appropriate description, I would say. For the man's lodgings, indeed. And for the man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial.
What's that supposed to mean? Mr. Natsume, what did you mean by what you said just now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed? Oh, no! Why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it. Oh, I see. That's really agitated him. You don't mean the trial really is cursed somehow? Are you referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper of the Bailey? The Reaper? Oh no, what do you mean? Please tell me, summarize it succinctly in 16 salient words. No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever. Oh my goodness, can it really be true? That was 16 words exactly.
Was it?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm sure you would have checked when you were playing it by yourself.
Yeah, I did.
Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended somebody against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances.
Mr. McGilded. What? Why are we telling him this?
Oh, because the case is cursed.
But why are we telling him this?
Oh yeah, there's no point. Yeah, you're right. I am impressed, Mr. Sato. You have an eye for detail. Oh, it's probably because Herlock Sholmes came in doing a Von Zieg's impression, so they have to like contextualize it. Otherwise, it would have been weird. Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us.
Mr. Sholmes, surely it can't be that, having failed to have the accused convicted, Lord Van Zieks killed the man himself.
Oh no, he couldn't have. Surely. You have some wonderful notions.
Sorry?
The man isn't a mass murderer. He's a cut prosecutor, my dear fellow. Oh, yes. Why, of course he is.
Ugh, of course he is. Then why are you trying to scare me?
It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypotheses.
What on earth do you mean by that?
Quack, 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 quack. Von Zieks is quite an exceptional man. However, in London courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception.
Ah, that's good. So Seki-san looks like he's going to cry tears of joy.
As you're no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial there are both judge and a jury. Look at the hiccups. A judge officiates based on the letter of law, while the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It's an excellent system, whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated.
Right.
Criminals and corrupt lawyers, for that matter, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal, contriving evidence, calling imposters and witnesses, and so on.
Imposters.
Impost. My favorite game is Among Us. I love playing the imposter. By such underhand means, those who would want to are able to sway the jury. which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail. But at least a wrong verdict can be passed. And sadly, it's from time to time, my dear madam. It is simply the reality of the situation.
And that's alright.
However, those indicted by Lo Van Zee cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed. Oh my. So the adjudication may seem to leave the courtroom with their freedom. Within months, they all disappear. It is most striking.
Disappear? But how?
By all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drown. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever. Or perhaps attacked by highwaymen.
What do you mean except for the Irishman in the last trial, Shady? He's dead.
Yeah, he got burnt alive. He got immolated.
He got burned within his own carriage.
Hoisted by his own petard, you might say.
He escaped and was murdered. That's the point, Shady. They die eventually, within months.
Yeah. Even if they succeed, even if they're innocent by the court, something always happens to them to make them go away.
Oh, no.
All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruto.
I knew it. I'm a dead dodo, done for, doomed.
Were dodos extinct by then?
I think.
When does this game take place in?
Late 1800s. When you say cursed lodgings before, you were referring to a room at Mr. Gerdup's house, I assume. Do you mean to say that you believe the place is cursed? It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain, but I'd only been in London a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself. That didn't take long then. Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me, all the time, from dawn till dusk. So I shut myself away in my room, but even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away. You have AC?
Very lonely. What happened?
No, gone.
You must have been very lonely, having been away from your homeland for such a long time.
Dragon, you have AC on the brain these days, so you're thinking of dodo codes. And it's a dodo. I had to move a number of times, most recently to that room on Barrow Road a week ago now.
Yeah, I'm heavily considering getting the DLC because I've never played Happy Home Designer and I think I would really like that.
Fair. I'm getting the subscription, so I have it that way anyways. Yes, well, why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient. The rent is cheap. I have so little money. It appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops. He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late, so I told him, "If you have something to say, then say it, but if not, don't mention it in the first place." Yes, well said. But it was true. It was all true. You mean the room really is cursed then? Ever since I moved into that windowless hellhole, my sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I awake feeling as though I'm being choked to death. In my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm branded a killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits. Yeah, I know my Saseki channel Soisanaga a bit. I have similar voices for them. If only there were someone, just one person on my side.
Yeah, the first time I thought Hosonaga was the culprit, the people we had to defend this case.
Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really, no one at all. To believe, yes, to believe.
Like, is he gone for the rest of the game, or are we gonna see him again?
I can't say.
Well, because like he could have stayed on the boat to go back to Japan to let them know about the situation, but I don't know.
Mr. Sholmes.
Ah, me, Mr. Naruto. Pray, what can I do for you?
The plotline sounds oddly familiar to a certain Stardust Crusader, Dark Keyblade.
Ha ha ha! Someone's
It's-
gonna reveal their stand power.
It's about the... Oh, it's just not wrong person. It's about the case in the Suspiria, if you recall.
The Buria. Buria. Ah, that case. The one with the snake.
Well, yes. At the time, I was the suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us to investigate.
I did, didn't I? Interesting.
What I want to know is, why? Why did you believe in me?
I see. Yes, you mean because you were a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found in the victims in a locked room.
Well, if you like, yes.
I'm a little surprised that the answer required an explanation, my dear fellow. Quite simple, really. You said, I didn't do it.
But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little.
I think perhaps you've misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor in that in which you were telling me.
What?
You see, the only thing I believe in are those I choose to believe in. What? What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? I make up my own mind about what is to be believed and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I'm concerned.
But I could have betrayed your trust.
In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion.
Meaning,
Whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. It's a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself.
yes, he's right. He's right, locum student Mr. Naruto Esquire. Whether or not I can believe myself.
God. A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his clients. Very punctuated. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself.
You're so right, Kazuma.
I know I am. Speaking from his sword. This is one Shaman King, and I refuse to admit otherwise. Well, my dear fellows, it is time we're leaving. I believe.
Yeah, Dragon, they are kind of deep lines, but also it's just like, well, what happens if the person betrays my trust? Like, well, oh well, you made a mistake. So?
Yeah, people stress too much about it. Already? Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There's a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me? It's kind of rude. Oh dear, there's never enough time, is there? I would like some trout myself.
Mr. Natsume, if you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, if you'd like, we can bring you back some trout. In the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you. Locum student Mr. Nohoda Esquire. As I said, I only experienced a British courtroom for the first time yesterday, and although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial. Something crucial? What to believe in, the defendant, justice, or the truth. How to believe, even. But I think I finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts.
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo.
And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that we prove that in court. Locum student Mr. Nohoda Esquire. I will fight for your innocence to the bitter end, with every weapon available to me. So I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue. Of course, Mr. Natsume.
It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo.
Dragon, his prison cell probably being better accommodation there he's living, is Inheritance pointed out, he has a window he can't close and it's winter. Probably not the best.
Your mind was, in many ways, made up from the onset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it.
Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got here in the end.
Roll credits. Oh no, turnabout, not roundabout.
Miss Suzato,
Yes?
would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court? Literally her job!
Yeah, I'll pass. Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant.
Because you literally are. Like, that you were sent here from Japan to do that.
She's like, no, I'm just gonna sit this one out. We're not scared.
The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind. But it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me, and Mr. Sholmes believes in me now too. So it's time that I learned to believe in myself. Soseki-san has no one. He's all alone. So it's my job to help him, to fight his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all the strength I can muster. Woo! Only took an hour and a half. Then again, an hour of that was spent on the deduction.
Yeah, that great deduction takes a great amount of time. Oh.
Well, I never expected this. Who'd have thought we'd be back here again so soon?
We are on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedures here, we need as much court experience as possible.
Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dock, it may well be his or her one and only time in court, and it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass.
Oh, when you put it that way, you're quite right.
Good morning. Ah, Mr. Natsume, good morning. His eyes are red.
Oh dear, are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot.
The early worm catches the worm, as they say here in Britain. Yes, I've heard that expression. But I really don't want to catch a worm. So I tried desperately not to wake up early, but I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. and now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result. Do all literary people take things so literally?
Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume.
I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm too terrified to tremble. Really? Because I can feel tremors in the floor. I can't do this. I can't take it. Although, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yes? I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London. Oh, neither did I. Do you know why that may be, Mrs. Addo?
Sorry, Mr. Naruhodo, but I have no idea.
So the all-knowing look on your face is just coincidence then, is it? Don't hide the truth from me. It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Lord Van Zeeks. Is that right, Mrs. Addo?
I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes, Lord Van Zeeks is on the front page of every one.
I knew it.
Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday.
Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he?
The fish and chips guy, right?
Yeah. The trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Zeek's return to the courtroom after a long hiatus. The trial of Magnus McGilded. Trial of Magnus McGilded. Oh, what a harrowing experience that was. Listen, it's him flashing back to Gregson flashing back to her. Yeah, it was confusing.
There's a lot of voices, I submit. I believe the appearance today made even greater waves here in the capital than... today's.
But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country. Why is controller not?
Well, yeah, your controller disconnected. Did it die?
It shouldn't. It's USB.
Yeah, the icons switched to keyboard. You want me to read this line or
Read it.
Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon? For what appears to be a mundane murder.
Okay, I'm gonna unplug it and replug it in.
Have you tried unplugging it?
The Reaper of the Bailey got it.
It appeared in court.
There we go. I unplugged it, plugged it back in, and pressed A like 10 times, and then it suddenly worked.
It's like, oh, you want me to work? Oh, I got you. That's the question the papers are asking. They're all speculating various answers.
Mundane. It's the most significant saga of the century to some of us.
Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume. But that is how the papers are describing it.
Well, lest we also forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention, but there's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago.
Yes, I agree.
Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, it's you. Me? Well, I suppose that's true. Both times it was you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper. Please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers.
I'm afraid there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruhodo, of your uncommon bad luck.
Thanks for that. Oh, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune? By the least lucky lawyer alive. Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. Yes, it's true that I'm just a student new to London, with little in the way of experience or skills, or luck. But I promise you this. I will fight in your corner until the bitter end, and I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume. Oh, benevolent locum student, Mr. Naruto Esquire.
You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we will always be on your side.
Oh, benevolent non-locum assistant, Miss Mikotoba Esquires. Well,
do y'all know what locum means, by the way?
Temporary. They said it when he first used the word.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. It's been so long.
Yeah. In a week, almost 2 weeks. I am in your debt forever. I shall never forget this. I don't know what I was saying.
Kindness for as long as I live.
Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense.
I think you meant kindness for as long as you live.
The court session is about to begin. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once.
Ba-ba-ba-bum.
All right then, Mr. Natsume, it's time. Let's go. Yes. God, that voice kills my throat. This is it.
Yeah.
My second appearance in a British courtroom. My second trial again. The Reaper.
I'm gonna have to have some, like, honey tea or something.
I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma.
And
Because this
that's my
time,
voice.
I won't let my faith waver. I'll believe my client to the last. Just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight. Bring it on!
Ah! Ikuze! I might not have a voice left for Monday. It's gonna be a short time between streams. I gotta...
But it's a shorter stream, probably. So.
Yeah, I'm saying I just gotta make sure that I take care of my voice, because, like, I'm feeling it. The maid is in the...
Chug honey over the weekend. Just chug it. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare the court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
I am a vampire. The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord. Oh,
The defense is ready, my lord.
I'm getting a phone call. Give me a second.
Okay.
Oh, I can't. Let me mute.
Just give us a moment. The default pose, the vampire cloak. Well, wait, let's see. We don't have much evidence, but we have a lot of people. Oh, I never noticed. He's 8 years older than her. Also, for some reason, I forgot that Suzato was 16. I thought she was 17. Okay, well. I'm Dracula. Okay, well. Okay. Well, I'll use this chance to take another sip of water. Hopefully, the call is very brief. I hope you're all doing well tonight. As I mentioned, it'll be probably a little shorter of a stream. We might be ending at like 7:30ish. I was hoping we'd finish this case by the end of the month, but we might not, because next week I think the last stream of the month, so... Oh wow. While I wait... Let's see here.
We may continue.
Okay.
The Nipponese are truly the Nipponese are a truly fascinating breed.
Sorry, what?
Lord Strawheart has told me all about you.
Yeah, the Castlevania Advanced Collection did just come out. I actually almost finished the first one in the collection. I got it when it came out.
You're the student who arrived in London but 2 days ago. A mere amateur.
Do you have a point?
Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance. Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description.
Suzaru-san.
After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent. Oh, yummy yummy. Blood in my tummy. Very true. A most fascinating, if dark, trial it was, too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquitted, and his unfortunate, violent end. Is fair play?
Thank you, consuls. I see both sides are in fine fettle. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public? Yep. You commit
first in here?
What?
Is ladies first also gonna show up?
No, just fair play. I gave you the option of which one to voice, so you actually determined who voiced who in this jury.
Yeah. You never know when one might be down on your luck, which I believe in fair play for everyone.
Salty you?
Oh, God. Well, I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear.
Oh, well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fella.
I'm afraid to say, I think it's impossible that Mr. Sparrow did the deed.
Go on, what we're waiting for? No doubt you did it anyway. Sorry. Didn't quite catch that.
Oh, nice. I love him.
Very well. Let us proceed.